There's like a perpetual state of growth. It's easy to get in a rhythm and just continue to go down the trail exactly the same way. It's much harder to to ski in fresh powder, but it's a whole lot more fun. Right? It's a whole lot more, inventive and creative, and I think that way too many people get stuck in the same groove. They go down the same trail over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they never venture off. They never go off piste. They never go, back country, and that's where the greatest amount of growth. That's where your ability is. And I think that we have a tendency to identify what we're not very good at and just kind of chalk it up and allow it to define us. Right? Like, I'm a bad speller, so you allow yourself to spell poorly, and that's like an oversimplified. But I don't connect with people on a deep level. I allow myself to be distracted. Well, if that's the case, like if you know that the gift you have is to see people for what they are, and you're easily distracted because you're so busy, you've got to focus on presence. And the only way that you're going to focus on presence is by remaining disciplined to that as a priority. Right? So manifest it. Make sure that every single day you wake up and you look at your list of all of these things, like all of these shortcomings, all these areas. If you were to create an ideal of yourself, right? What are 8 or 10 things that would be? It's your success, it's your personal growth, it's your relationship growth, it's your spiritual growth, it's all these things. And the way to do that is to ritualistically, right? On a daily basis, it's not just a dream board. A dream board is not enough. You have to manifest it as if it were, as if it were fact, right? So thank you, gratitude for this, gratitude for this ability to do these things. And when you start to live in that space, what happens is your discipline and commitment to reviewing and having that self-talk allows you, in my opinion, to be reminded. And we don't necessarily need regimentation. What we need is awareness. Like, we need to we need to have things in our lives that remind us of what we need to be and what our potential is. It's kind of like those, the when you bowl with your kids and you've got those like the rails that come up in the gutter so you can't throw gutter balls. When you set yourself up daily to review this list of manifestations about what you're grateful for, and you make yourself grateful for all the areas of growth that you're going to have, those become your rails. Those become the guardrails to remind you the minute you start to get distracted and drift off, boom, I got to come back, right? The minute that you have self-talk in your head, but you don't do it with your partner, right? You got to get back, and you got to the guardrail. Oops, I'm having a conversation in my mind. I probably, as awkward and uncomfortable as it is, I probably need to have that conversation right now. And I think a lot of times in business, just like in our personal lives, we avoid the conversations that are probably the most important ones to have, right? And you may be really, really effective at having that conversation in business and not very effective at home. Or you may be really effective at having it at home, but you're not very good at having it in your business. And I think that we've got to push ourselves in those areas of growth with consistency. And the way to do that is to remain disciplined. Your discipline reveals your potential. That's the consistent work on a daily basis ultimately is going to reveal, what you're capable of being. And it's not like you're ever going to get there either, right? Like, because it's a moving target. And so that moving target requires this continuous commitment to, this personal evolution.